Okay, so in this video, I want to talk about how you can level up your pentatonic playing, whether you're improvising, creating solos using your pentatonic scales. And I specifically want to talk about mixing your major and your minor pentatonic scales. So that term gets thrown around a lot in the guitar world. And so I kind of want to show you a simple approach for how you can get these major sounds in your minor pentatonic playing. And then I kind of want to go over a couple chord progressions as well, specifically the 1, 4, 5 chord progression in major, minor, major and minor keys. And then we'll talk a bit about dominant chords as well. So kind of just to get right into it, if we talk about a 1, 4, 5 chord progression, say we're in the key of A major, our 1 chord is the A major chord. Our 4 will be a D, 5 will be an E. Right, super familiar sound. Now if we wanted to do that in a minor key, just turn those chords minor, right? A minor, D minor, and E minor. Right, another familiar sound. So when it comes to improvising using your pentatonic scales over those progressions, right? If we're in the major key, we can use our major pentatonic scale. And if you know your pentatonic scales, we know that this isn't the only shape that there is. We have 5 shapes in total. So right next door, we have our minor pentatonic scale shape, but we're still in the key of A major. Okay, so there's more shapes up the neck too, and even more down there, but for now we'll just focus on those two. So when it comes to the minor key, we can use our minor pentatonic scale. Right, and then of course we have those shapes, the same shapes for major and minor keys, just shifted differently on the fretboard. Now what about dominant chords? So traditionally, typically in blues and a lot of blues rock music, instead of having that major or minor 1, 4, 5 chord progression, we would turn those chords into dominant 7th chords. So a dominant 7th chord is basically, you take a major 7th chord. So it's an A major 7. It has the note, it has the root, the 3rd, the 5th, and the 7th. Super lush, open kind of sound, very nice sound. Now, to get a dominant chord, we simply just take the 7 and lower it down 1 fret. Right? So now we'd have a root, 3rd, 5th, flat 7th. You get that kind of sound. So that would be. That's that A dominant 7. So that would be our 1 chord. Now to go to our 4 chord, this very simple chord shape here. It's just 3 notes. That's our D7. Now we just move that exact same shape up 2 frets. It's our E7, back to D, back to that A dominant 7. So when it comes to soloing over this is very, bluesy chord progression. It's great. You throw this on a loop, you just improvise over your pentatonic scales. Great way to practice your improvising. We can't just play our minor or our major pentatonic specifically because of this major 3rd here in the A dominant 7 chord. That's our middle finger there. So over the 1 chord, what we can do is we can play our minor pentatonic scale. Then when we get here, we just add the major 3rd in as well. Okay? Right, you get that. It fits pretty well with the chord. Now when we go to the D7, 4 chord, we can, happily, happily play the minor pentatonic scale there. great over the D7. Same with the E7. Back to D. To that A7. Okay, so that's essentially just by adding that major third in, you've already mixed major elements in with your minor pentatonic scale. So it's just adding that one note, which can add a great, you know, you can do some pretty cool licks with this note in here too. Right? Another way to add more notes in, mixing, you know, adding some more major elements in, if we're in, you know, we have our minor pentatonic right here. If we want to switch to major, you know, you can just overlay your major pentatonic scale, overlay it right on top of that and add a couple notes. For example, these 4 bottom notes here, straight out of the major pentatonic scale, added into the minor with that major third. Right? You can get some pretty cool sounds out of this as well. Right, those are awesome notes to play around with over that A dominant 7 chord. The last thing I want to talk about is mixing these, you know, major and minor sounds outside of these 2 shapes that we've already talked about. So basically how we approach this, if we're, so say we're in the key of A major. We have our major pentatonic right here. That's our shape 1. Our shape 2 goes like this. Okay, now we have to recognize that all of these shapes are connected to one each other. For example, the minor pentatonic shape is connected on the 5th fret here to the major pentatonic shape. And then this major, 1st position major pentatonic shape is connected to this 2nd position shape. Okay, so like I said, first, if we're playing major, we can overlap the minor pentatonic scale right over that major shape. So essentially what we've done is we shifted that minor pentatonic shape from here up to here. Okay, so if we shift that, all of the other shapes are going to shift with it. So then instead of moving to this as our 2nd shape, we would move to our 1st major shape, our 1st position major shape as our 2nd shape. So here it is. Okay, so A major, you know, here's our major. Add in some minor elements right from the minor pentatonic scale overlapped. Let's slide up. Now you're in that major shape again, but we're still playing in minor. And then I add that major third in to kind of bring it back to major. So I hope that helped a bit when it comes to, you know, mixing your major and minor and what that actually means and how you can approach it. If you found this video helpful and you want to learn more soloing, you know, advice, more things that can help you with your improvising, check the link in the description of this video. I have a free 5-step soloing guide that you can download. It goes over, you know, mixing major and minor, targeting some chord tones, you know, basic music theory stuff that's super helpful for that. And if you're looking for, you know, further guidance with this and you want to dive way deeper into this and take your playing to the next level, there's also a link down there to book a free one-on-one call with me. See you next time.